Hi, everyone. Welcome to Me, You, and Who? Today, I'm sitting down with Alyx to explore her deeply personal and emotional journey into surrogacy. From the moment she felt the call to become a surrogate to the life changing experience of delivery day, Alyx shares the highs, the challenges, and the everything in between. One of the biggest lessons she's learned: trust the process. But more importantly, trust yourself. Finding the right match isn't just about paperwork, it's about connection, intuition, and knowing deep down that it feels right. She'll share how she navigated the matching process, why she never felt pressured to move forward until it was truly the right fit, and how listening to her gut made all the difference. We'll also dive into the support system that carried her through, the deep bonds formed with her intended parents, and the pure joy of bringing a long awaited baby into the world. Whether you're considering surrogacy, supporting someone on this path, or simply curious about the beauty of family building, this episode is packed with heart, insight, and inspiration. Enjoy! Me, you, and who? Who knew it would take more than two people to have a baby? In a world where infertility is no longer a taboo topic, this podcast will take you through all of the different aspects of surrogacy and egg donation through the lens of many who walk this journey in different ways. My name is Whitney Hall, and I am a two-time surrogate, now turned surrogacy coordinator for Egg Donor and Surrogate Solutions, the very agency I used when I chose to carry for two amazing families. With this podcast, it is our goal to help guide and support you as you learn about what it takes to grow a family in an alternative way, as well as hear inspiring and beautiful stories of how this path has changed lives forever. We can't wait for you to hear about just one more way happy families are created every day.
Alyx, I really am just so glad that you're here. I love that we kind of get to have this full circle moment, you and I. And I was there like at the very beginning, right before you got matched, and now we're back here. So this is so fun. I'm just so excited.
Yes, I'm so excited too.
Well, okay, before we get into just what was just a beautiful journey, I want to go back. How did surrogacy even become a thing on your radar? What made you want to do this?
I had my first daughter in 2020, and after I had her, I was like, that was a blast. Like, that was so much fun. I had a really good first time delivery, but we knew we didn't just want to end with one kid. So I kind of just put it back in the back of my mind, and I would talk about it every now and again. And then
the idea of being a surrogate, you would, okay. So it kind of came after you had your first, and you were like, yeah, I'm good at this.
Yes. Yeah. And I have older cousins. I have some family members that have struggled with fertility. Mm-hmm. And so when I would hear them talking about that, I'm like, well, this is surrogacy is an option, and it's not an option for everybody. And I get that. But then I would just think about it more. Yeah. And then we had our second daughter, and I mean, right after she was born, I was like, okay, we're done having our own kids. I'm ready to do this. Let's do it. And I think it was 6 months later, I was filling out the application.
I love it.
Yeah. Yes. And then everything just went perfectly.
Oh my gosh. I love it. What did your husband, I mean, obviously you had kind of already been planting these seeds with him after your first daughter. What was his first kind of, I guess, response whenever you were like, hi, I would love to do this? Or really just any family member. How did they feel when you were like, this is happening?
Yeah. Him specifically, we've been together for 10 years, and he is the most supportive person. Whatever idea I come about, he's like, all right, I don't know, but you do what you want to do. I'll support you all the way through. But this specifically, he was just like, you would do that. You would actually do that. And I think he thought at first, oh, it's just something she's going to talk about and then she's going to let
Mm.
it go. But if anybody knows me, I don't really let things go. After we had my youngest Presley, I was like, that was even better than the first time. Like, are you okay with me doing this? He was like, yep, let's do it. So,
Oh.
yeah, and we built our house, and I remember the day we moved in, I came across like something in like my work bag or something, and
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh yeah, I need to reach out to a local Southern Illinois girl that has now done 2 journeys." And I was like, "I want to ask her all the questions." And so yeah, we had boxes in our house and I was reaching out like, "Hey, I'm ready to do this. I know you don't know me, but I know you want to do it. So I want to meet for coffee and ask you all the questions." And
I love it. Oh
mm,
my gosh, that's amazing. Well,
yeah.
that kind of leads me into my next question. Like, what was that research like for you whenever you first, had this thought? Because you said you had your first, you were like, this is amazing, and then you were like, but I'm not done with my family. And that is definitely one of the things that we do always say, like, please make sure you're done with your family and that kind of thing. So you had obviously kind of started the research process, but what did that look like for you?
Yeah, my best friend knows somebody that was a surrogate here, and I didn't realize how many surrogates in Southern Illinois there was.
Yeah.
There's quite a bit. And she was like, "How about I give her your phone number?" So I reached out to her. Her name's Abby. She knows I'm
Shout out
getting ready.
Abby.
Yes, we love Abby. And she just was so sweet. Her and her husband and her kids came over, and I think we ordered pizza, and our kids played, and she like talked to me about it. And then of course it was super great for my husband to ask her husband questions as
Yeah.
the role of like, so what's this look like as a husband? And
Yeah.
we prayed together, and it was like the most like amazing moment. We went through my profile together.
Oh my
um,
gosh.
yeah, and we just, I mean, I think they were here for like 4 or 5 hours, and we did was talk about surrogacy.
I love it.
um so that's how I got connected with it. And then the way that the Southern Illinois surrogate like group message works, um once you're in legal, you kind of like get thrown in this group message, and we all still, like, we were just texting the other day, we all talk and get lunch sometimes, get coffee.
Mm.
And yeah, it snowballed into like a million friendships. And Abby and I are super close now, and we just went through my first journey and her second journey together. So it was really great.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Yeah, I think it's so fun because I remember watching as a coordinator, slowly watching this kind of just sweet little group, this little community that you guys have created. That started with just a couple of girls who happened to figure out that they lived close by, and then all of a sudden, like,
Yes.
now, I mean, I love it. You guys have this big group text. Like, that's
Yes.
so amazing. And I think it really speaks to, I mean, this is a community. Like,
Oh,
I
for
mean,
sure.
when we say the word like Suro sister, we really mean it. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, there's nobody else that really knows your experience like
Right.
another surrogate. And I love that you have that community, and we're able to reach out to them
Yeah.
in the beginning when you were looking at all of this.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I even remember meeting with you and Meg, and you guys were like telling me stuff. I'm like, oh, somebody already told me this information. And like, I feel so prepared. Like, I felt so
Yeah.
prepared going into it. But you guys as an agency completely made it like, I couldn't imagine going with a different agency.
Oh.
I hear things and I'm like, yeah, I'm super grateful for my agency because you guys did everything for me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I mean, yes,
Yes.
that's how, but your experience is how everyone's experience should be.
Mhm.
And when you're working with an agency, that's exactly what it should be. And I love that you had done your research and had those girls around you and kind of had that prep. But also, exactly to your point, when you are going through this process, like, the agency should be telling you everything that's going on.
Right. Because even if you think like, I bet we'll get to that, but I bet if and when I do a second journey, I'll still like, oh, I didn't ask that question my first journey. And like, you guys, I never didn't have an answer. So it was always nice. Like I could call Angela right up and she'd be like, oh, yep, it's this, and this, do this. And everything's taken care of within a couple hours.
Yeah, exactly. And you need that support. Like you do.
Yeah.
You need that support during, something as big as this. So no, I love that. I love that so, so much. Well, okay, so skipping ahead just a little bit, you and Abby did an amazing profile together. And yes, and now you're going through the matching process, right? And now, I mean, I feel like the matching process is really whenever what is sort of this idea becomes so real, whenever you get to start looking at intended parent profiles.
Yes.
What was that process like for you?
I would say that was like the best part, but in my situation, it was a little stressful.
Yeah.
We matched with a family and it just didn't feel right. And that's okay.
Yeah.
We, as we got initially we were like, yeah. And I think my brain, and this is when I want to like encourage anybody that is looking into doing this, like, don't just pick somebody because you think it'll make the process go quicker. I think that's where my brain was at. And I was like, okay, well, we have the same values on things that like a lot of people don't. So I'm just going to go with them. And then something in me was just like, they deserve somebody that's fully like comfortable. And I wasn't, I can't know a reason why, but I wasn't. So that was kind of heavy for a few days, but I felt peace at it. And I was like, the perfect family will come. And that's exactly what happened.
Yes.
So then I was kind of put in like this hold up, like the standstill, because I was a little specific on what I wanted. That's okay. But I knew that came with like, not every profile is going to match with you. And that's fine. Now hindsight, like I couldn't imagine doing this with like a family that we didn't see eye to eye on everything. And I feel like that's so important. And then my intended parents submitted their profile, and the day they did, we matched.
Oh.
I think in the background, I don't know who it was. I think it was Meg. She kind of knew this profile was coming in and she knew where I stood with things. And she was like, I think I have something brewing. And I was like, okay, like whatever you say. And I remember I'm a therapist and I was in a session with a client and I looked down at my phone and Meg had texted me and she was like, I have a profile you need to see. Well, she texted me and my husband. We had a group message and my husband wasn't in the therapy session. So he gets on and he's looking at this profile and he's texting me, say yes, they're perfect. They're amazing.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, I can't right now, but I will look as soon as I can. And that night we went through everything and I was like, we need to get on a match meeting as soon as we can. And I think we did like 3 days later.
Oh my gosh. I love that. Well, and again, like to your point, it really does speak to, exactly like you said, don't match because of timeline. Match because you like it feels right. Because this is not something that's done in like a couple of weeks. I mean, you could be doing this process for 18 months to 2 years. I mean, you're in it with these, when you match, you're in it. And so it really, like, if you have reservations or you have specifications, listen to those. Like those are important. And I think that also is what I love so much about our matching process is we do listen to that. And it is, it's not a pressure of like, no, but match now. But like, no, let's get going. Like, it's like, no, exactly, May, I think I have something brewing. Just hold on a minute. Like, just hold on.
Yeah. And from what I've gathered, our intended parents, they had applications with other agencies, as most intended parents do. And they were like, we couldn't believe how, like, they had you ready. And I was like, yeah, I couldn't believe they had you ready for me. Like you guys had it ready. You just couldn't like officially present it until everything was done on both ends. And I think our matching video or whatever it is, Zoom, was like an hour and a half. And all we did was just talk and talk and talk. And we were so impatient. We didn't want to wait on each other's like contact information. And we were like, okay, like when do we get to talk on the phone?
Like, please, please.
Yes. Yes. And I mean, I'm not kidding. We've talked every single day since the day we matched.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
It's been amazing.
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. I mean, again, like I love how, you know, time feels so important, especially for intended parents. And I mean, and eager surrogates who like, we want to do this. Like, we're excited. Yeah. And it really does, you know, for all intents and purposes, like that little bit of wait time is just a drop in the bucket. And it really, really, really does make a difference sometimes to just wait for that right match. Wait till it feels good. And I love that, you know, again, also going back, I love that you were listening to how you were feeling about it. And yes, it is really hard whenever you start thinking, no, this is great. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh gosh, now I have to break an intended parent's heart. But that shouldn't be, that guilt shouldn't be why you move forward. Like everybody has to listen to your gut, because that wouldn't have been a good match for anybody if everybody was, you know, just not feeling quite right.
Yeah. And if anybody knows me, I want things done yesterday. So I shocked myself. Like I'm typically somebody that would have just settled with like, there's these few things that I know I won't be happy with, but I'm just going to do it anyway. Mm-hmm. But I knew this process from Abby and from you guys and from research that like you said, like, this isn't just like a 9-month pregnancy. Like you don't just like go one day and transfer and you're pregnant and you have this baby and then it's all done. Like that's not, maybe some people like after the baby it's done, like you don't see your intended parents or talk to them much, and I know that's how some people want it. But even through your pregnancy, like it's not your pregnancy, it's your pregnancy, but it's you're there's so many more people involved. Like Absolutely. You're not just going to appointments and leaving.
Yeah, no, you're right. And again, to your point, not settling. Not settling. And that no one should ever feel pressured to settle in something so important as this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. So what was it like meeting them in person for the first time? You guys were so eager to exchange, contact information. Now you finally get to meet each other for the first time. What was that like? That was at the medical screening appointment, right?
Yes. Yeah. So we matched. It's crazy. Our match meeting was November 30th of 2023. Right? Yeah. November 30th, 2023. We flew in 2 weeks later for medical clearance.
Oh my gosh. That is like unheard of fast.
Yeah. So we were all kind of a little stressed out because, it was like a week and a half before Christmas.
Yeah.
And I remember like I think it was Angela. There's so many people that are involved, but she's texting us flights and we're like, put us on the quickest one. Like we'll be there. And that goes back to having so much support for my kiddos that everybody was like, yep, when you're ready to go, like we'll watch the kids.
Yeah.
And so we went and they picked us up from the airport and they both were out of their car and like embraced us with like this huge hug.
Aww.
And later on we talked about like, I remember walking towards my intended mom and I was like, I think I'm going to vomit. I'm so nervous. Like, I'm so nervous. And then the second she hugged me, I was like, you're my new best friend.
I love it.
Yeah. And I mean, we just hit it off. We talked, they took us to dinner. Like we hung out with them the whole time. And like they had their appointments too while we had ours. So, we all were like laughing because our husbands both are like, I don't want to get my blood drawn. And we're like, get over it.
Oh my gosh. Come on.
So we like it was never like I feel alone. Like they were just so supportive. And
it was team baby. It was team baby.
Yeah. Yeah. And talked to the doctor and by myself. And she was our fertility doctor is great.
Mm,
And I think we stayed an extra day to hang out with them. And
I love it.
we met my intended mom's parents,
Hmm.
and their dog, which is also a wiener dog. Um, and that we just talked about like how excited we were and all the things. And it was awesome. We didn't want to leave.
No.
So
Oh, I
yeah,
love that. And oh my gosh, I love that you met their parents. Like, I mean, because you're not just making, you know, like a mom and dad. Like, you're making grandparents and aunts and uncles, and like, I mean, this is such a big,
yes,
fun, amazing thing. And I love that they invited you into that part of
yeah.
their family.
Yeah, it was, and that's what we all wanted. That
Yeah.
was something that was really important to me, um, to like be involved and not necessarily meet everybody's parents, but just like have a close relationship. And I think that's what they wanted to, clearly.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, it was great. And then we got medical clearance really quick.
Mhm.
And then, of course, the holidays happened. And then we had our psyche evals January 2nd, the day after New Year's. We were
Oh
like,
my
okay,
gosh.
let's do it. Um, and those were interesting. I've never I've never had one. So that was interesting.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're fun. Nobody for anyone who's listening, nobody freak out. They're okay. They're,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
freak out at first because they're like, wait, are they gonna figure out some way to like think that I'm crazy? And I promise you're not. Like
Right.
you're okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a lot of questions, and then like it's a little like it's long. So
Yeah,
I
like you're talking to the therapist and they're asking you like they're asking you great questions, then you have to fill out that like evaluation form, and that one I'm like, no, I think I'm crazy after filling this one out because I feel like you've asked me the same question five different ways and I don't
yeah,
know. Like,
because we
yeah.
all got stuff in our life that's affected
Yes,
us. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can't lie." Like, obviously, I
of
can't
course
lie,
not.
but of course, like, we all have things going on, and I think I had to remind myself, like, that doesn't mean I'm not qualified to do this or
Yes,
I'm crazy
yes.
or
It's
something, but
natural that maybe you would have like a bit of like an anxious day whenever you have like two small children. Like that's
yeah.
very common.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so you had I mean, you guys were on the fast track. So you have like a match meeting on November 30th. All of a sudden you're going into medical clearance 2 weeks later. You have your site. I mean, I'm assuming during that time you've already gotten legal started, or at least you're about to.
We picked
How,
our attorneys, I believe, but nothing further than that.
yeah, I mean, generally you want to get full clearance before you get started on the legal part. But
Right.
I mean, you were on the fast track. So when did you guys transfer, and how did you feel leading up to it? Like, I mean, all of a sudden you've got meds going on. How was all of that?
Yeah, so had psych in January, and I remember we started legal February 1st was
Wow.
like the first time she called us. And sorry to my intended dad, but lawyers don't do anything quick. So that was like, it wasn't a bad experience. It was just like, okay,
Well,
like,
you like things done yesterday, so yeah, it
yeah,
just wasn't
yeah.
on the Alex timeline.
Yeah, and my disclosure, my intended mom does too. So we're calling each other. We're like, why do we agree on everything? And it's taking like,
It's
but
taking so long.
they take the time.
We love it. We love it. We're gonna dot those I's, cross those T's, make sure
Yes.
everything's good. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So, legal went smoothly for us. And that goes back to like matching. Like, we didn't have to go back and forth about anything major because we just all wanted the same things.
Yes.
So it was a really smooth process, and
Mm.
we got legal. And I think they did I can't remember the timeline exactly. The only reason I'm thinking this is because on my memories on social media today, my intended parents sent me this like meal box because
Aww.
the next day, which would have been tomorrow, I had to get like a hysteroscopy done
Oh, sure.
prior to transfer. And so that just goes back to like how amazing they were. They sent me this meal, and we got that done. And then I think like a week after we got legal clearance, my meds were at my front door, which was
Amazing.
terrifying.
That box arrives. It's very daunting when you start opening it up.
Yeah, I'm actually sitting where I opened it, and I remember opening it. I was like, that's a lot of needles. And I was like, all right, and I had no idea what I was looking at, because there's really no point of going through the medication with your coordinator or your doctor until it's in front of you. Like,
right.
I don't know what you're talking about. So, yeah, I went through medications, I think that day or the next day with Angela, and she was phenomenal. And then my intended mom has done IVF, so she was super great of like tips and tricks. And they sent me this care package with like a heating pad, a massage roller, all the, amazing things. And I got a little station set up, and my 4-year-old helped me do injections every night.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I think there's a video, because you did such an amazing job of like documenting like your journey. It was just beautiful. I think there's a really sweet video, and she put it was a pineapple band-aid, just a little pineapple band-aid
in my butt every night.
Yes, it was so sweet.
Yeah, and then she would get in front of the camera and smile like, my mommy did it. And she's like, she was so proud, and she really like understood what was happening. So it was great. Yeah.
I love that. How, just briefly taking it aside from the timeline, how was explaining that to your sweet babies? I know your littlest she's 2, right?
She's 2. Yeah.
Yeah. So she doesn't necessarily really know what's going on. But your 4-year-old, she was proud of you. How did you kind of explain all of that to her?
Well, at first we didn't tell her. We were just like, we don't want to like prepare her little heart for this if for some reason we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So we did not tell her until I think legal clearance. And when I had to have that procedure.
Yeah.
And so Abby is so sweet. She got me this book. It's called The Kangaroo Pouch.
Yes, I have it.
Yeah. Mine's in a drawer. I'm about to give it to a friend, and I'll get to that. But we read her that book, and we just really explained to her, because she had met our intended parents and loved them, and they FaceTimed her all the time. They sent my girls a birthday gift. They just like, we all connected so quickly, and they hadn't met them in person yet, but we just told her like, mommy's going to carry a baby for our friends. And she was just like, at first she was like, so is the baby going to be at our house? And I'm like, no, he won't come home with us, but you'll get to meet him and all the things. And she just through the process would like, okay, mommy, you have to do your shot, because we have to have like, you're gonna have a baby in your belly. And she just like, we really just kept her in the loop, and that was the best thing we could have done. I think during my pregnancy, maybe she was a little confused of like, because I think she remembers us bringing Presley, our little one, home. And like,
sure, she's already done like the big sister thing. Like, she has context for what it is to like bring a baby home.
Yeah. And we obviously didn't like, we weren't making a nursery. We weren't preparing for a baby. And she just kind of was like, so the baby's not, she would ask a lot, so baby's not coming home with you? I'm like, no, he's not coming home with you. You'll get to come meet him. And they did end up coming here, but that we'll get into that. But she just really, I do have to toot her horn. She's very smart for a 4-year-old. So she just like, I would pick her up from daycare, and her teachers would be like, Drew told us that you're having a baby for her friends. I'm like, yeah, I am. And they're all like, so this isn't your baby? I'm like, no, it's not.
It's amazing what, I say not trouble, fun conversations our kiddos get us into.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I love it. Oh, that's so sweet. love that, you know, I feel like I say this ad nauseum, but I feel like we as adults, we can make this so complicated. And our sweet littles, they're like, they make it so easy. It just is what
I
it
know.
is. And like, you
Yeah.
just stick to the basics of it. I love
Yeah.
that. And I love how involved she was and just how proud she was of you. I mean,
Yes.
it is a family event that everyone is a part of. I mean,
Yes.
exactly to your point, you know, that you were saying previously with your husband being, you know, asking, how do I support you? What do I do? I mean, and having your village around you babysitting kiddos while you're, you know, flying to medical screening. Like, I mean,
Yes.
you have to have that support through it. And it's so fulfilling to see your kiddos get to be a part of it too.
Yeah. And having the support too, my mother-in-law lived like 9 minutes from our intended parents. It's just crazy how we connected. And I mean, they've lived in that area. They live in Texas. I'm not going to say where, but Texas is huge.
Yeah.
And like she got to like, I remember for transfer, she came to the hotel and got to meet our intended parents and like gave them a hug, and like it was just like we got to eat dinner with them one night, and our transfer was like a vacation for sure. We went for like 5 days.
I love it. I love it.
But yeah, even when we would go to Texas, we still like had support from family having them there. And it just was, there was so many like this is meant to be moments. So it was great.
I love that. Oh, I love that so much. Okay, so how was transfer day? How are you feeling leading up to it?
I would say that's when I think everybody was the most anxious.
Sure.
I think we went 2 days before. So we transferred on a Thursday. I think we got in Tuesday night. And I remember Angela sending us flights, and it was like the night before transfer, and then like the first morning flight we could get out of, and we were like, can we change this? We want to hang out.
I love it.
So we went, and we didn't take our kids, even though my mother-in-law was there. And then we went to dinner that night. And I remember it plain as day. We were sitting down, eating dinner, and it was just silent. And we all were looking at each other. And I was like, no, this was the day before transfer. This wasn't the first night we were there. This is the night before transfer.
Night before transfer.
And I'm looking at everybody. I'm like, so how's everybody feeling? And everyone's so nervous. Like, we're just like so excited, but so nervous. I was like, yeah, me too. And then we started talking about how we were all just staring at each other, and we're like, we always have something to talk about, but like, I think just it's normal to feel nervous the night before. But we got up, we went to breakfast, and a lot of people don't know this. I didn't know this, but when you transfer, most clinics, I've heard some don't do this, but like you can't wear a deodorant. You can't take a shower like within a certain time frame. You can't have perfume on. You can't have makeup on, scented lip gloss. And like
it's a procedure.
Yeah. We're like eating breakfast, and we're like, what if this puts a scent on us? Like it was but we went to breakfast, and it was great. And then we went to transfer, and we got in the room. It was just me and the intended mom, which I hear that like that's not common either. Usually you take your husband, but I wanted her. I wanted her to have that moment of like, yes, this can't be me doing this, but she got to be right there. So they got me ready, and she actually put me in my gown, and like it was like our first like you're gonna see me with no clothes on moment.
There we go.
Yeah. And so then they told me like, I think the worst part of the day was you have to have a really full bladder to transfer.
Oh yeah, that is the worst part. I tell everybody, I'm like, yep, you're gonna get on the table and you're gonna do everything you can to not pee yourself, because like
and the doctor, my bladder was too full, and so she was like, I need you to go empty it a little bit. And I remember like I was in there, I was like, I don't know if I could stop peeing.
Right.
I need to just empty it a little bit, but
do your Kegels now, ladies.
Yeah, I remember this moment. They let both of our husbands come in, And we were kind of just waiting. And they came in, told us the embryo thawed perfectly, explained the embryo to me because I didn't know what I was looking at.
Sure.
And told us like how amazing it looked. And they leave the room and we are in silence again. And I was like, I think we should pray. I think we should take a moment to like pray. And we're standing in the circle and I just start bawling. And we're praying over like my body, over the embryo and like this journey. And I get emotional like thinking about it because it was just like an amazing moment. And then we just go to this room and the intended mom went with me because you can only have one person for transfer in the room. And I'm laying there and they're like calling for the embryo. It's a crazy experience. Like, calling for this embryo. And my intended mom is like, she didn't just sit down and watch. She's like holding me, like squeezing my hand. And we just watch her little embryo. That's now a 2-month-old baby.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Yeah. I hear the doctor, she goes, I think that's the best transfer I've ever seen. And we were like, praise Jesus. Like, this is awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you have to lay down for quite some time. And then we left. We left and we got our McDonald's French fries.
Yes. Get your French fries. Absolutely.
Yep, we left and we went to our hotel room and my husband and the dad sat in like, we had like a living room area of our hotel room. They sat and watched whatever sport season it was. And me and my intended mom, she sat with me for hours and was just like, because, they put you on bed rest. And she's like, what snacks do you want? What drinks do you want? Are you hungry? What do you need? And we just sat and talked. And it was funny because it was like 3 hours later and we were like, I wonder if like it's implanting right now. Like what's happening? They left and my mother-in-law and father-in-law came and hung out with us in our hotel and my brother-in-law, which we don't get to see.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And we got to like hang out with them. And of course, all I'm thinking about is like, is this working? Is it working? Like,
right.
It's all I could think about. And it's crazy because that in the middle of the night that night, I started cramping really bad. And I was like, what's happening? Like, is this bad? Is this good? What's going on? And my intended mom and I are texting. I'm like, I'm cramping really bad. And she's like, that's good. And she was like, that's a good sign. So, I come to find out they're almost positive that he implanted that day. And we flew back that night and that was quite the weekend. I remember being really stressed out because, they don't want you lifting things and all things. Well, my oldest is on like a little big cheer team. They had a huge competition in the city that we flew back into. St. Louis is what's close to us.
Right.
And I'm crazy and took a pregnancy test that day.
Oh, no.
2 days after transfer. And I'm like,
no, not 2 days. Do not do this.
I know. Don't do that. Don't do it. But we shared a hotel room with one of my friends. And I was like, am I crazy? Do you see something? And she was like, I oddly see something. And then I was like, no, there's no way. There's no way this is on here. That was Saturday morning. And lo and behold, the next day I got a positive pregnancy test.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I sent it to Angela and I'm like, this is really bizarre. Like this is 3 days post-transfer. And that's when the craziness started because I was like,
we're peeing on sticks left and right. We're like,
Yes. And rewinding. So that was, I got a positive like the Sunday after transfer on Thursday, Sunday at like noon, I got a positive and I didn't tell my intended parents. I want to be sure, but was so hard because we talked 24/7. Like,
sure.
And I remember sitting on my couch and she was texting me and she was like, so how do you feel? And I want to be like, I got a positive test. But I was just like, I'm good.
I feel pregnant.
Yeah. I was like, I feel good. And again, that was a Sunday. Me and my husband are the youth leaders at our church. And we were having this grill out it was like an end of the year, because this is like April.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I forgot to say that. We transferred April 11th. And we're having like an end of the year school cookout. And they all know that I was gone to do this transfer and
Sure.
what we were doing. And it was on social media. I was very open about my journey, but I looked at my husband. We made this TikTok with our teen youth group. And I looked at him. I was like, I'm just ready to get home and take another pregnancy test.
Like, can we go now? Like, I need
Yeah.
the piano stick.
Yeah. And he convinced me not to. And so I didn't. And then the next day, I was like, okay, the only pregnancy test I have left is a digital, so we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And there's a video. It's on my.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I remember, actually, I lied. I had one other pregnancy test and I took it and it was clearly like positive. And I took the digital and I'm like holding it up. Of course, it's taking forever.
Of course.
And it says yes. And then I call Angela and I'm like, can I please tell my intended mom? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, it's a digital. Please let me tell her. And I just like wanted to respect everybody, but I knew my intended mom wanted to know. So we get in the car. I get in the car to go get my nails done. It's so crazy. I remember all this. And I'm like, I'm going to FaceTime her. Angela gave me the go.
Right.
And,
right.
I FaceTime her and she's just staring at me. And I was like, are you around? And I said her husband's name. I was like, are you around him? She was like, no, is there something you need to tell me? I was like, yeah. And I held it up. And I mean, just like, I have a video. I screen recorded it. But she was just thrilled, like could not stop smiling. And then it started like, let's see the progress on these pregnancy tests and all the things. And everything looked perfect. Our betas were great. Then I went on vacation, freshly pregnant.
I love
that was a little stressful. And then, they came in for, I'm jumping ahead. I don't know if you
No, yeah.
They came in for the heartbeat appointment. Actually, no, they didn't. Okay, let me back up. My betas were really high. Really, really, really high.
Oh, so now everybody thinks that maybe it's twins.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the IVF doctor actually called me and she was like, I've never seen betas this high and it not be twins. And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, if this is God's will, then we're doing it.
Here we go.
We're about to have two babies. So I think it was between my second and third beta, we didn't have all of our betas done. And again, our closest city is St. Louis. Well, all the surrogates around here drive to St. Louis. Well, they opened a sister office here, like 10 minutes from my house.
Oh, love it.
Yeah, well, it was great. It's great. But they were trying to get all their kinks out of the way. And there was like some lab errors, come to find out. But we had an ultrasound before, like I had to go into it knowing like I'm not going to see a heartbeat. Like this is too soon.
Right.
And there was only one sac and a little fetal pole developing. And she was like, it could still be too soon to see if there's twins. And I was like, okay, so we're still dealing with like, in there. And so get more betas done. They're still just skyrocketing. Come to find out it was a lab error.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So I go in for the heartbeat appointment. My best friend went with me. And because my husband's job is very demanding. So he just couldn't get off or something like that. And we see heartbeat. And then I get cleared. So for people that don't know how it works, you're at a fertility clinic and then
you're with a reproductive endocrinologist. You get that heartbeat confirmation. And usually you get to graduate. And now you're kind of just regular pregnant lady. Off to your OB you go.
Yeah. So they came here for, I think I was like 11 weeks pregnant at this point.
For that first OB appointment.
Yes. Yeah, for my regular OB appointment. And they got to meet the doctor and stuff. But they got to meet our kids. They got to meet our parents. We took them on our golf cart around our town and
I
like
love it.
showed them everything. Took them to lunch, showed them our church, and my kids were on the golf cart with us, and they sat on my intended parents' lap. They didn't want to sit with mom and dad. They wanted
No,
to
of
sit
course.
with them. They loved them so much. And we went to that appointment and got to see him. Oh yeah, disclosure, it was a boy. We knew that before transfer and everything, but
Yeah.
we got to see his little heartbeat and he looked like a baby. We were like, whoa, like this is
That's
weird.
a baby.
Yeah. And it was super emotional and great.
I love that. And again, I mean, it's so amazing that, you guys had the relationship that you had where it's all of these little moments and, middle of the night, like, no, the cramping's good. And, just all of that. And the fact that, they're coming up and all right, let's ride around the golf cart. And like, it isn't an in and out, appointment and flights and things like that. Like you guys are investing in each other and that's beautiful. So the pregnancy was amazing. I mean, again, just you did such a great job documenting all of the things. And I love, I love that they were as involved as they were. And especially even with you guys being in different states, the fact that, you guys were able to still have such a close relationship and not be local to each other just speaks to the commitment that you guys had to investing in one another and growing this relationship. And I love that.
Yeah, the pregnancy was my easiest pregnancy I've had.
I love it.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm convinced it's because it was a boy. Girls gave me a run for my money. I was just really sick, which I was sick with him at the beginning, but nothing that I couldn't handle. Yeah, and so they came for that, and then so many different things. We went on vacation with them. I think I don't remember the timeline of everything, but I know we went on vacation with them. They have a cabin somewhere, and so we went out there. They got us this adorable Airbnb, like right down from their cabin, and we did like so many fun things. We were going the whole time. It was so much fun. But the highlight of that was they got to feel him kick for the first time. Mom and dad did. So the whole trip is like, he's kicking, come feel. Yeah. And it was awesome. And we got to they finally felt comfortable, like with how far along I was to like shop for him. So we got to go shopping and get him all kinds of things. And then in that time period, we saw each other a lot around that 20-week spot. They came in, my anatomy scan was in St. Louis. They came in for that. And then with IVF, they do fetal echocardiograms.
Yes, it's kind of common that there's a possibility with an IVF baby that there might be a heart defect. So they always do kind of an extra little just check.
Yeah, so they came in for that. And so we got to see them a lot. And then when they came in for that, they actually drove back to Southern Illinois, and my friends and my family threw them a little baby shower at my house.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like we did all the decorating. We did like a little Cowboys on his way, because they live in Texas.
Well, yeah.
And then my husband's friends and our parents, the guys were in the backyard playing bags, and we did a diaper party for him. So they had like all these diapers. It was awesome.
I just love how you just brought them into your community and everybody is just part of this. That's amazing.
Yeah, I love that they allowed us to do that, because that wasn't something that on our match meeting we discussed. It was just hey, we really want to do this for you. You're going to be here. Is this something you're okay with? And they got to meet all of our friends during them too. Yeah. So it was awesome. And then that was the last time we saw them until delivery. just because our lives got really busy. They were preparing for a baby, and
Absolutely. Yeah. Life just keeps going.
yeah, yeah. But everything went smooth, like everything up to delivery, which delivery went smooth too, but everything up to then, we just like stayed in contact. And then they came here when I was 37 weeks, just in
Mhm.
case he came
Sure.
early. Because they were telling us he was a little big. And at my 37-week appointment, I was already at a 2. So they
Mhm.
really wanted to get here. And I mean, they had to work. They worked from home. I had to work. So we didn't get to see them every day, but I mean, we spent a lot of time together, which was
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. I love
Yeah.
that. What was just up to that point, what was maybe some of your just biggest surprises throughout the journey?
Um, I would say, like, I think going into surrogacy, you could tell yourself all you want, like, I'm not gonna get connected. I'm not gonna let this like affect me. Like, not in a negative way, just like I'm not going to be upset when I have to have this baby and it not come home with me. I shocked myself that I was that way because I think our connection, I don't know if that was really loud. Somebody just dropped the mail off. Our connection and seeing like how long they waited for this baby and how loved he was by not just them, but like their parents and their friends, and how wanted he was by them.
Yeah.
Not that like I didn't love him. Like, of course I do. Like, he's my Sero buddy. Like I love him, but I think I was so shocked of like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait for them to meet him.
Yeah.
Like as much as I wanted him to stay in and grow and be healthy, I was like, I just cannot wait until this happens. And of course, at 37 weeks, I was like, I really can't wait
No,
till.
like it's time. Like we're uncomfortable. Like come on, buddy, let's go. Yeah. No, but you're so right. I think I feel like that's one of the most common questions, at least that I got as a surrogate, was, well, aren't you going to feel sad when you have to give this baby away? And I was like, well, first of all, I'm not giving a baby away. I'm giving a baby back. And second of all, I mean, again, to your point, you've grown this relationship with your intended parents, where you are exactly that. You were just so excited to see them be parents, that like that's
Yes.
the joy, that's the finish line right there, like
Hmm.
that's the purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I everyone still like, because I'm only 8 weeks postpartum, and everyone's like, so are you okay? I'm like, yeah, if
Yeah.
I wanted to have another baby, I wouldn't have done this. I would have had another baby.
Right.
um but and like, of course I see them with him and I'm like, he's exactly where he should be. um
Yes.
and yeah, I think like just the type of person I am, I think I shocked myself through the process of like how amazing it actually is to see this way of like that people don't think of to have a child. Like, I think sometimes people think that um infertility ends there and that there's no other way. And some people have different thoughts about surrogacy, and that's okay. But I think just like through the process, I saw how amazing it actually is, rather than
Hmm.
just hearing about it, like seeing how amazing it is.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, especially if your world is, you're not exposed to the idea of third party reproduction, whether it's, egg donation or surrogacy. I mean, a lot of times you can kind of have a lot of these preconceived notions of what it could be. And even
Mhm.
whenever you're thinking about it theoretically, right? You're kind of like, yay, yeah, I'm creating a happy family. But then whenever you see it, and you see that mom buy that onesie for the first time, or that dad is
Mhm.
over there looking at like the little shoes, and he even has this little smile on his
Yes.
face, and you're like,
Yeah.
no, like those are the little moments
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
really, it's like, no, this is making a difference, a
Yes.
huge difference.
Yes. And like, because we were so close, and also going way back, my intended mom and I do a similar career. So, you know, we were able to like confide in each other about our jobs, and
Yeah.
which was awesome. So we were talking all the time, and it might have not even been about pregnancy. But you know, she would FaceTime me like, we painted the nursery walls today. And like, I just remember how excited I was to do all those things and like prepare for my baby to come home. And like, it was finally their time. And like, their story is not for me to tell, but like, they waited so long for this. And like, it was finally like, it was their turn. And like this, I think I had to remind myself, like, this isn't about me at all. Like, this is 100% about them getting to like have their baby, and like they get to like buy a crib and buy car seats. And like, it was so cool. Like it was so cool to watch.
It
And at
is.
times I got to shop with her, and that was like we're standing next to each other. He's in my belly and you're getting to shop for him. Like it was just so cool.
Well, I mean, you're front row seat to being like their biggest cheerleader.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, I
and
love
they were mine
that.
too. They were my biggest cheerleader too.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So what would you say, I mean, I feel like it's obvious, but what would you say is maybe the most memorable moment of the journey?
Definitely delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah, our delivery was insanely quick, amazing, great, all the things.
I love it.
So we did get induced December 21st. I went in like 7:30 or something like that.
We're back to the holidays. Like, we were starting with crazy holidays. Now we're back to the holidays for delivery day.
Yes. I was the only person in labor that day, and I was the only person that delivered. So I had full attention. It was fantastic.
I love it. Oh my goodness.
So just me and my husband went in to do paperwork, get me dressed, all the things, talk about the things I wanted. And I had been induced with both my girls, so I knew how it went. I was super calm. Like, I was not nervous at all. And then my intended parents were patiently waiting in the parking lot. I'm sure it was not patient. But they came in and walked in, and like, you could just feel like all the emotions, because they had his little hat laying there. Like, they had it ready, and they just walked in and they were looking at me and they were like, "So how are you?" I was like, "I'm ready. Let's go. Let's get this baby out."
This is better than Christmas morning.
Yeah. So right before they came in, they actually checked me, and I was already dilated to a 5.
Oh, look at you go.
Yeah, but I was not contracting at all. I wasn't laboring at all. So we're just all hanging out. They start Pitocin on me, and I hadn't had an epidural yet, so I got up and like bounced on the ball, moved a little bit, and it wasn't an hour. I was like, I think I need drugs right now. I was hurting, and like, I wasn't like in an immense amount of pain, but I knew I'd get there. So I was like, let's go ahead. I know I'm getting an epidural, so let's just go ahead and do it. And so they came in.
During this time, intended parents are hanging out in the room with you while you're walking around. Okay. And like intended dad and like your hubby are kind of hanging out, and it's just like a big fun family affair.
Yep. It was a huge party. The nurses were hanging out with us. There was a nurse training. So, I mean, there was a ton of people. It was a blast. And, you know, we didn't really have time to do anything because it was so quick. I think I started getting my epidural at like 11:30. So like I didn't start Pitocin until probably like 9:30. And by like 11:30, I was getting an epidural. And I mean, you have hiccups in delivery. I had to get the epidural needle twice, which really sucked, but it's fine.
Ouch.
It's okay. If that's the worst of it, but I did get a little sick. And so I like there for a little bit, everything was kind of like, I was just going through the motions of like,
Sure. We're
what's
just focused.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, after my epidural, obviously I'm bedridden at that point. And, I looked at the nurse. I was like, this worked with my daughters. Can we like do this with like the peanut ball thing? So they turned me on my side, put me in this peanut ball, and they're like, okay, we haven't eaten lunch. We're going to go eat real quick. And, it'll be sometime. I think I was at like a 7. And my intended mom's talking to me, and I'm like, I cannot listen to you talk right now because something's happening. Like, I just feel like something's happening. And I was like, I feel really bad. These nurses are on lunch break. Like, I just felt And so my intended mom looks at me and she's like, do you want to call a nurse? Like, you could tell she wants to call a nurse, but she also like wants me to like feel
She's
my
letting
body.
you lead the way. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And dad is just like, he's so chill. Like he's just a chill person in the first place. He's like, just do what you're comfortable with. And I was like, how about you look? So I had my intended mom, she's a doctor. So like she knows some things. And I was like, what's going on? And she looked at me and she was like, I think you need to call the nurse. So we called the nurse, and my husband was so annoyed by me because I kept saying I'm sorry. And he was like, stop telling them you're sorry. This is their job. And I'm like, okay. So I tell the nurse.
Not wrong. Never apologize for your presence.
I know. And I told the nurse, I was like, I'm really sorry. I know you're trying to eat lunch. And I know you just checked me literally that like 15 minutes ago. Like this has happened like 15 minutes ago. And, the nurse training checks me. And I'm looking at her face. I'm like, I'm really sorry. I pulled you for lunch and I'm not dilated anymore at all. I can tell by your face. And I said, am I dilated anymore? And she was like, I'm going to let her check you. I don't want to say and be wrong. And I was like, okay. So that nurse checks me, and she looked at the nurse training and she was like, what do you think she's at? And she was like, well, I can't feel her cervix anymore. And she was like, yeah, because this baby's coming right now.
Yeah, like right now.
and the dad and the mom didn't really expect that. And they're sitting and they looked at each other and they're like, what'd she just say? And I looked at her. I was like, I'm fully dilated. We're ready. We're about to have this baby. And the mom sits up and she's like, oh, okay. Like right now, like we're having this baby right now. And I was like, yes, we are having him right now. And like everybody just starts like getting ready. They push their chairs, and dad stood kind of like right here.
Like by your head. Yeah.
Yeah. He just wanted to like, he told me like, I want to respect everything that's happening down there. So he stood back there, and my doctor came in, and she was like, all right, are you guys ready? And it was super calm, and nobody was really emotional yet. But my husband, let them have their moment. He stood on the side, and my intended mom was like, do you want me to hold your leg, or do you want Bailey? Bailey's my husband. And I was like, no, you can. If that's where you want to be right there. Like you do it. Like you do whatever you want. So my husband kind of just like, we would make eye contact. Like I'm okay. Like I'm doing great. And yeah, I started pushing, and 6 minutes later, here he is. Yeah. And I mean, everyone was just crying and crying. And I just remember like the intended mom, like she could have easily just walked away from me and like, just like attended to her baby. But she looked at me and like 10 times, like, thank you so much. Like, I love you so much. Thank you so much. And I was like, go be with your baby.
Yeah.
So you're welcome. You go. And before I knew it, they were moving to another room to do like skin to skin. And I was, getting taken care of, all the things.
Yeah.
And I did get sick after. So I just like, they got to have hours with him, and my husband obviously stayed with me, and we focused on me. And that night we got to cuddle and take pictures, and we got to find out how much he weighed. And He was so healthy, and they got a room. We were back to back rooms, so we just got to like go in each other's rooms. And we agreed that I would pump for him. So we would like, take the colostrum over and
Sure.
all those things. And then one of my good friends is a photographer, so she came to the hospital and took pictures for them.
Mm.
And she got to visit us, and we got to go see him in the room. It was great. It was
It's
fantastic.
beautiful. It's beautiful. There's so much reality to this because I think you guys did. You had that beautiful moment. She gets to see baby. She's looking at you, and I mean, you're seeing her like hold baby and be mom. And then also like you had this big huge physical thing happen, and now like, hey, hold on a second. Like I'm legitimately like ill. Just give me a second.
Yeah. 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 She wasn't like overbearing in the least bit. I think she
No,
just
of
like
course.
wanted to make sure I was okay. And I think
Yeah.
like we had such a good relationship that I had no problem telling her like, I'm really sick right now.
I just
Like,
need a minute. I just need a
yeah, I
minute.
need a minute. You
Yeah.
need a minute with your baby. And that's what everybody did. And everybody was okay with it. And yeah, I
I
think
love that.
I think preparing, like just communicating on like exactly how we wanted that day to look.
Mhm.
Um, so nobody was like caught off guard about anything.
Yeah.
And we knew exactly like what it would look like after he was born, and like they would go to a separate room. Like that wasn't a surprise to anybody.
Right.
And
Right.
that's what they needed. Like, you don't want me getting all fixed up while you're trying to bond with your baby.
No, for sure. For sure. I mean, they're having their moment, right? And, and obviously you physically have to, continue with the postpartum aspect of everything. But I love again that the both of you, just everybody was so, hey, you go have your moment. And then she was also like, hey, let me make sure that you get your closure. And,
Yeah.
just all of those small, I shouldn't say small, but those important details that
Hmm.
really make this journey and really
Yeah.
make that relationship. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
Mm.
It was fantastic.
So, I mean, you are only 8 weeks, so, it hasn't been too long, but if you were to give any advice to any potential woman who is thinking about being a surrogate, what would you say to them?
I think just follow your heart from the very beginning. If there's something laid on your heart that you want to talk to your coordinator about, that you want to talk to your intended parents about, like we said in the beginning, like this isn't just you're pregnant and then you're not pregnant and everything's
Right.
gone. And like listen to your body.
Mhm.
If your body's not ready for it, if your heart's not ready for it, that's okay. Maybe one day it will be. But I do think it's really important that like the mindset you go into this, because it's inevitable. You're carrying a baby and you're gonna connect with them. But you want it to be the right connection. You
Yeah.
don't want it to be something that makes it hard to leave. Leaving the hospital when they left Illinois, like not one part of it was hard for me. And I'm not saying like it wasn't sad. It was. I love them. I love them as a family.
It's a different sad, right? It's like those are
Mhm.
my best friends and they're leaving. Anybody's sad when their best friend leaves. Like
Right.
it's a different sad. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, like if you're gonna have hard days during pregnancy. I mean,
Of
as a
course.
surrogate, you've been pregnant before, so you know that's gonna happen. And in my case, I would just tell my intended mom, like, I'm having a really emotional day. I in so many ways, because you still have your life, like you're still dealing with your life too.
Right.
And so I think just having that open communication with
Mhm.
someone, it doesn't have to be your intended parent, it could be your spouse, it could be a friend,
It
just
can
to
be
talk about
yeah.
like what you're going through.
Yeah.
And then of course postpartum, like I personally think in my situation, and this is why matching is so important too, um, they've kept me involved. And
Mm.
I do think pumping has helped, because our bodies are made to take care of a baby that we birthed. So when you don't have this baby that you're not taking care of, it's giving, I think for me, my body is responding well. My hormones are responding well because I am doing this thing like as a motherly, like my body is supposed to be doing this, whether a baby came home with me or not. So, I
Sure,
think
that's just the science of it, right? Like your body's
yeah.
just doing the thing that like it has been created to do next whenever you've done this step.
Mhm.
And yeah. And I mean even as a surrogate too, pumping, you know, if that's something that works for your situation, it's kind of a great second chapter to,
Yes.
you know, the journey with your intended parents. It's just one
Yeah.
more blessing to them.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's been great. Everything postpartum, and something that was really important to us too was our kids meeting the
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
And so we went home and then they went home the same day, but in the evening, to their Airbnb here in our town, which was like right by our house.
Mm,
And they spent their first night with him. I didn't have my kids at home that night because I was just resting. And then the next day we had like breakfast. They came over and we got the baby and them Christmas presents. They got our kids Christmas presents. We opened gifts,
mm.
and it was so sweet. My intended mom and I talked about this a lot. She was sitting there holding the baby, the intended mom was, and my 4-year-old opened a present. My intended mom was like, "This is from the baby." And my daughter walked up to him and was like, "Thank you so much for the present." And obviously, this like 1 day old is
Oh,
just like laying there, but it was so sweet because she thinks that like this friend of hers
yes,
bought her this Christmas present. And
absolutely.
it still means the world to her. And
Oh,
they, that day, they didn't stay long because they obviously have a newborn.
right.
And they went home, they went back to the Airbnb, and then it was Christmas Eve the next day. And I remember them deciding that morning that they were going to go home. And they actually surprised their family because their family thought they were coming after Christmas.
Hmm.
So they were getting on the road, and um, we drove we drove to their Airbnb because I had milk for them. And me and my husband went inside and we told them bye. And I felt just like so much peace of like,
Mm,
he gets to go home with his mom and dad and like
yeah.
get to meet all of his grandparents and his cousins and everybody that's so excited to meet him. And it was, yeah, it was great. They got to spend Christmas with their newborn, and it was just like seeing pictures and hearing from them. It was like,
It's
this is
magical.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I
It
love
was.
that. I love
Yeah.
that so, so much. And I love that, again, just the relationship that you guys have had since. And, you know, it's extended family at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. We've stayed in contact. I talked to her this morning.
I love it.
And of course, yeah, and of course when you're sending milk and stuff, you have to stay in contact. But we stay in contact just because.
Right.
Um, and then we are packing up and going to spend 4 days with them in May. So we're gonna get to see the baby, get to see their families, do all kinds of fun stuff. Southern Illinois, we don't got much here. So he's planning all kinds of stuff for us to do. The kids FaceTime the baby and tell everybody about him.
Of
My 2-year-old
course.
thinks every baby is him. So it's hilarious, but
I love it.
she's 2.
Yeah,
Great affirmation.
no, it makes sense. It makes sense. Oh,
But
I
yeah.
love it. I love it. I mean, it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful story of what it is to wait for that perfect match. And when you do, it can just be more than what you could ever
Oh, for sure.
hope or dream.
Yeah. No,
Oh.
I truly think like besides having my own kids, obviously, like it was the best experience of my life. Like
Mm,
and when people ask me to explain it, I mean, I could do what like I did just now, like explain every detail of what happened. but like the feeling, like you just, I mean, you know, the feeling, like you
Yeah.
just can't explain it. Like, I don't know. And it's hard to like, you don't want to tell, like, it's hard because you don't like want to say like, I did this amazing thing, but like you did, you like everybody that's done this like should be so proud of themselves because it's not easy. Pregnancy is not easy. But I
Yeah.
think like the fulfillment of like seeing them is why you feel so proud of yourself. Like,
Absolutely. Well, I mean,
yeah,
there is a sense of pride that you're, but it's also exactly like what you said. It's the sense of pride because you are seeing this dream become a reality.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I just am so happy for them and they love parenthood and I love that I'm not up in the middle of the night.
Yes, exactly. It's the best. It's the
Yeah.
best.
Yes.
Oh, Alex, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
It is
Well,
great.
I mean, again, thank you so much for just telling your gorgeous story. And I mean, I love that relationship and that bond that you all have.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, it's beautiful. It really is.
Yeah.
My last question to you, and it's a fun one. For anyone who knows me, they know, and I've been sipping on it this whole time. I have a very codependent relationship with my coffee. And I always love to ask the question, what filled your cup today? Literally or figuratively, what was the thing that filled your cup?
Today, talking about it, I think just like going step by step of like I don't think I've sat down and said from the very beginning to the very end what we did as two
Yeah.
families together. And so just like sitting back and being like, wow, like what an amazing experience, what an amazing thing that's possible
Mm-hmm.
for people like me that fortunately doesn't struggle and like my body is able to do this for a family that longs for a baby and
Yeah.
um it makes me excited to do it again.
For sure, for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, yes, to your point, life keeps going, right? Like you go to a transfer and then you're at a cheer competition. Your kids keep going. You've got birthday parties to plan. I mean, life keeps going. And it's
Yeah.
so hard I mean, it doesn't come naturally, right? To just really sit and reflect when you're in the midst of,
Life.
your own
Yeah.
parenthood and your own
Yeah.
littles and just and all of that. And I mean, it's beautiful to be able to take the time to sit back and really
Yeah.
look at everything
Yes.
in hindsight. Absolutely. Oh, I love
Yes.
that. Well,
Yeah.
Alex, seriously, thank you so much for sharing your story. And
Yeah. Thank you for having
I,
me.
of course, I'm definitely just selfishly very excited that you're gonna do it again.
Yes. Yeah, that is the plan. I'm not gonna say exactly when, but sooner than later.
I
We
love it. Well, we're only
will be
8 weeks, right? We're only 8 weeks, so we
Yes.
gotta let our body do our thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at the hospital, I looked at her, which this has been a conversation before
Sure.
I had him. And I looked at her, I was like, you ready to do it again? She was like, are you? I said, yep, that was fantastic. That was so much fun.
That was so much fun. I love it. I love
It was. I loved it. And I mean, if people know when I delivered, they can, and I say as soon as we can, then people can put together when it will happen. But
Well, it'll
yeah,
happen yesterday. That's the Alex
right,
timeline. Yeah.
right. Yeah, they're eager, and so am I. And it is refreshing that I don't have to rematch. So
Yeah. Oh, I
yeah,
love that for you guys.
we're
Oh
ready.
my gosh. Well, I'm excited to do this again when we have a sibling journey to talk about.
Yeah, yep,
I
yep,
love
for
it.
sure.
Oh, thanks, Alex.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Me, You, and Who. We appreciate your time and hope you enjoyed our discussion today. As we wrap, we would like to remind you of some of the ways that you can stay connected with us and be part of the Me, You, and Who podcast community. Firstly, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode and can stay up to date with our latest content. But that's not all. We also have an exciting YouTube channel where we share some bonus content, behind the scenes glimpses, and video versions of our episodes. Head over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button there as well. And don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when the new episodes go live. And for more exclusive updates, engaging discussions, and a chance to connect with fellow listeners. Be sure to follow us on our social media accounts. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Create a Happy Family. If you're interested in finding out more about creating a happy family, please visit us at www.createahappyfamily.com. Thank you again for being part of the Me, You, and Who community. Your support means the world to us. I can't wait for you to join us next time as we continue to share stories and journeys of creating happy families.